Hey, thanks so much for finding the video. Do us a favor. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. And be sure to leave your comment. We love to interact. Enjoy the video. Ed Ogeron on the SEC Coaches Teleconference this morning gave this update on his starting quarterback.
Miles Brennan has not practiced yet this week. I don't believe that he's going to play, but things could change towards the end of the week. And right now we're going as TJ as our first-team quarterback, and Max will be our second.
So, I don't think this is surprising, considering last week, if you recall, Dr. Chad Loop was with us, orthopedic surgeon over at the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, former LSU quarterback. We asked Dr. Loop a week ago about a timeline for Miles Brennan for this type of an injury. This is what Dr. Loop said on AFR a week ago.
Well, I think it would be, a good 4 to 6 weeks for the muscle actually to heal itself. The hard part about that is in the middle of a season, it's obviously a terrible time to rest.
Yeah.
Because, Miles wants to play, and any quarterback would want to play.
So, 4 to 6 weeks. That's what Dr. Loop, former LSU quarterback, now an orthopedic surgeon, told us a week ago. Miles Brennan is 3 weeks removed from that injury. So it makes a lot of sense, right? You would want to get through this week and then have an open date. And then from the injury to the Bama game would be 5 weeks. It would be right in the middle of that time frame. So it makes a lot of sense if that's how it would pan out. But this is massive, not just for this game or this season. This is massive for the next 3 years of LSU football. And y'all know I'm not into hyperbole. If you listen to the show, I tend to avoid absolutes and superlatives. If someone comes at me with an absolute or a superlative, my brain is just wired to immediately think, okay, how do I chop that down? But I think this is the case because based on what transpires Saturday at Auburn will determine what LSU does for the remainder of this season and quite possibly the next 3 years. Listen, Auburn is allowing 400 yards a game. This is not the defense of a year ago that had Brown and Davidson and Big Cat Bryant and all those guys. This is not that defense. They're allowing 400 yards a game, 220 in the air, 180 on the ground. The team that held LSU a year ago to 23 points, it ain't that defense anymore. There are big plays to be had, and this is not a true road game for a freshman. There are not going to be 87,000 people at Jordan-Hare Stadium. We talked about Brandon Harris as the last true freshman to start for LSU at quarterback back in 2015. When he went and started that game at Auburn and LSU lost 41-7, he completed 3 passes. That was a packed night crowd at Jordan-Hare losing their minds, and it affected him. Finley's not going to have to deal with that. 15, 20,000 people maybe at Jordan-Hare. For a guy that didn't seem impacted this past Saturday night, I don't think that the moment is going to be too big for TJ Finley on Saturday. So, if Finley goes out and has a massive game, I don't know how you pull him. And if you don't pull him, that makes Miles Brennan's future really in jeopardy. And then you could say the same thing for Max Johnson as well. Because like we talked about yesterday, somebody's going to transfer because quarterbacks don't stay. They don't. Miles Brennan staying 4 years is the outlier. One way or another, all these guys aren't staying. So you're going to have to choose, and you're going to have to choose wisely. And this game will go a long way in determining if that's now or in the summer, after this season at some point. If Finley struggles against Auburn, then that's easy. Whenever Miles is healthy, it's his gig again. But it is interesting, though, that we're having this conversation that feels like we're coming to a stalemate between a fourth-year junior and a true freshman who just played his first game ever. That in and of itself is very telling. We're not really sure if Miles can lead LSU to great heights. Finley's potential, his ceiling, is clearly higher. So how do you balance that? I'll keep giving you the example. It's Jake Fromm, Justin Fields. If you ask Kirby Smart in hindsight, I bet he would have wished he had gone with Fields. You think Kevin Sumlin wished he had played Kyler Murray more? I was going to say, do you think Cliff Kingsbury wishes he had stuck with Baker Mayfield? But it kind of worked out for Cliff because now he's in the NFL and he's got Kyler and he's doing just fine and making a lot of money and wearing shoes without socks and living in a giant house. He's probably good. He's out of Lubbock. I mean, he's probably good. His ability to fail upward probably did him good. I digress. Massive game for LSU on Saturday. Ed Ogeron, by the way, also, can you please play number 5? Talked about, now that this is week 2 for TJ Finley, expect to see even more from him in the offense.
I hope he plays as good as he played the first game, to be honest with you. And that'd be good enough for me. But, we can do more things on the offense. Now we've seen his plays. Steve knows that he can take it to another step. I think you'll see a couple of different wrinkles that we didn't want to put in the first game just to make sure that the game plan was simple for him.
So, Ed Ogeron on the SC Coaches Teleconference, Miles Brennan unlikely to play on Saturday, means Finley will make his second start and his first road start if that holds, and we're all expecting it will. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.